All right, welcome to This Explainer. We are diving headfirst into the ultimate best 11 for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And let me tell you, after just one match day, we are witnessing an absolutely explosive, completely unpredictable start to this tournament. Literally, forget everything you thought you knew about global football hierarchies, because the script has been completely flipped.
You know, we're all pretty used to that classic, pristine pre-match setup, right? The whole calm before the storm vibe. World Cups usually start slow. Historically, that first match day is super cautious, kind of conservative. Teams are just feeling each other out. Usually things only really explode in the knockout stages. But match day 1 in 2026, yeah, it completely shattered those expectations. We haven't seen caution at all. We're talking massive upsets, breathtaking hat-tricks, and debut nations straight up shocking the giants of the sport right from the very first whistle. And what's really fascinating here is what's actually missing from the global conversation. Think about it. No Ronaldo, no Mbappé drama, no Neymar hype. Instead of the usual superstar narratives totally dominating our feeds, the real story here is the unknown heroes. These guys from tiny nations who just stepped onto the pitch and dominated. We're talking about players who arrived completely unknown and are already carving their names into World Cup history. It's wild.
So, what's driving this massive shift? Unprecedented scale. We are dealing with a totally expanded format this time around. 48 participating nations spread across 12 groups. The sheer volume of global talent on display right now is just immense. Because of this expanded format, we are seeing playing styles, unique tactical setups, and individual brilliance from corners of the globe that, well, they just didn't get this massive stage before.
Okay, so let's try to make some sense of all this. With 48 teams and hundreds of players out there, trying to pick a single starting 11 right off the bat is honestly, practically impossible. It's like a giant puzzle. So to systematically build our ultimate team, we went ahead and narrowed the field down to an elite shortlist of just 52 standout performers. That's essentially 2 full squads of 26 players, and from those, we're going to forge our ultimate best 11.
Let's kick things off with our first shortlist, Squad A. And wow, it features an incredible mix. You've got your established heavyweights like Lionel Messi, who casually dropped a phenomenal hat-trick at 38 years old, proving he can literally still make defenders look like statues. But right alongside him, you have shocking breakout stars like Cape Verde's goalkeeper, Vozinha, who just delivered an absolute masterclass against Spain. Then there's Weston McKennie from the USA putting in this brilliant complete midfield performance against Paraguay, and Rodrigo de Paul showing off some incredible technical quality for Argentina.
Moving right along to our second shortlist, Squad B. Let's see how this builds. Now, I want to be super clear here. This squad is definitely not lesser than Squad A. It's here to highlight the massive variety of nations stepping up. We're talking immense defensive shifts from France's Diogo Upamecano and Victor Gyökeres of Sweden looking absolutely formidable up front. But honestly, the real standout here is in the midfield with Imam Ashur of Egypt. The guy may have just scored the goal of the tournament against Belgium with a genuinely world-class strike. Unbelievable.
The depth across these 48 nations is just so insane that we absolutely have to acknowledge the players who barely missed the final cut for our top 52. I mean, we're talking phenomenal players like the USA's Christian Pulisic, England's Declan Rice, and Spain's Pedri. They all had these incredible moments that totally deserved recognition, but the competition for these top spots is just that fierce right now. This honorable mentions list basically proves just how special Matchday 1 has been.
So, what does this all mean? The crucial point is this. When we look at these shortlists, the absolutely most fascinating takeaway is the unexpected dominance of minor nations. They are directly challenging the old, established football order. We are literally seeing countries with tiny populations and completely different footballing infrastructures going toe-to-toe with traditional powerhouses, and in many cases, outplaying them. It is a massive, game-changing shift in the global football landscape.
All right, filtering down those 52 players brings us to the main event, our ultimate best 11. We've slotted these top performers into a completely devastating, high-pressing 4-2-3-1 formation. This specific setup gives us the perfect balance, you know? Beautiful football, reliable defensive solidity, and the ability to find goals from absolutely everywhere on the pitch. Let's break down exactly who made the final cut and why.
Leading the line for us in this 4-2-3-1 is England's Harry Kane, who showed some incredible movement and leadership with 2 super crucial goals against Croatia. Supporting him is a totally breathtaking trio. Out on the left, we've got Kylian Mbappé, who looks faster and hungrier than anyone else out there. In the number 10 role, it's Lionel Messi, because, come on,
A World Cup hat-trick at 38 is just undeniably brilliant. And on the right wing, France's wildly dangerous creative outlet, Michael Olise. Dropping back into the midfield, for our double pivot, we've got Argentina's Rodrigo de Paul bringing that relentless energy, partnered up with a player we are definitely going to talk more about in a second, Morocco's Ayoub El Aouni.
Now, anchoring the team is just a pure defensive masterclass. At right back, we have Colombia's Daniel Muñoz, who was defensively solid while also being this persistent offensive threat. At left back, Morocco's Nusser Mazraoui, literally the definition of a complete modern fullback. In the center, an immovable duo, Cape Verde's Dini Borges and Ivory Coast's Wilfried Singo. Honestly, both of these guys were the main reasons their teams kept clean sheets against some really massive opposition. And in goal, well, let's actually dedicate some specific time to our goalkeeper.
Because our goalkeeper is, without a doubt, the emotional story of the tournament so far. Vozinha. This is a 40-year-old goalkeeper from Cape Verde who had roughly 500 Instagram followers before kickoff. 500! But after shutting down Spain and producing what has to be one of the greatest goalkeeper performances in World Cup history, his following blew up to millions, practically overnight. It's just wild.
And why does this matter so much? Because his incredible journey represents everything that is beautiful about this expanded tournament. Think about this. This is a man whose mother couldn't even afford a visa to watch him play. He grew up with his grandparents, facing real financial struggles. And he's played in Cyprus, Moldova, Angola, literally wherever football would take him. For him to step onto the biggest stage in the entire world at 40 years old and remain completely unshakable, that right there is the pure magic of the World Cup distilled into one player.
Okay, shifting back up the pitch to the midfield. I mentioned earlier that Rodrigo de Paul's perfect partner in our double pivot is Morocco's Ayoub El Aouni. If Vozinha is the emotional heart of Matchday 1, El Aouni is 100% the tactical revelation. Morocco went up against a major tournament favorite, and El Aouni just completely dominated the center of the park.
The reaction to his performance really hits the nail on the head. One quote was, "He made Brazil look ordinary. Not good, not decent, ordinary." I mean, wow. El Aouni didn't just hold his own against the Brazilian midfield. He pressed, he intercepted, he created, and he completely dictated the tempo. You know how in every World Cup, there's always that one player who arrives relatively unknown and just leaves as a global sensation? Well, based on this performance, El Aouni is primed to be the absolute breakout star of 2026.
So there you have it. That's our ultimate best 11, structured right out of those 52 standout performers. But now it's time for the ultimate debate, and I want you to really think critically about this. Does Erling Haaland, with his 2 goals, deserve that striker spot over Harry Kane? Is Jude Bellingham's incredibly complete performance for England enough to break into that midfield double pivot? Is Messi a guaranteed lock for you? Because at the end of the day, football is entirely about these kinds of debates.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on your own best 11 down in the comments. But whatever you end up deciding, make sure you take this away with you. The old order of global football is being heavily challenged right now. Small nations are showing up with sheer tactical brilliance, and unknown players are literally becoming legends overnight. So get ready, because Matchday 2 is coming up fast, and a written-off team and a player seeking redemption are about to change everything all over again. You absolutely won't want to miss how this unfolds.